Alright, what is up everyone? This is Gaming Life here. And I know I probably sound different, but I haven't done a video in such a long time. So, ever since Smash Bros. 4 came out, I believe I only mentioned it like one or two times. Did I say ever since Smash Bros. 4 came out? No, I meant like the trailers and the information. I only did a few. I only talked about it like one or two times, like during the E3 stuff, because I had to cover it there. And I haven't really talked about it since. I haven't talked about my thoughts per se on it. I think I just mentioned it when I talked about my favorite Smash Brothers games and stuff like that. But I believe I should talk about it because I always do a lot of videos with Smash Brothers, and that is one big part of my channel with Smash Brothers. It used to be Call of Duty. There was like a lot of Call of Duty, and I think I haven't talked about Call of Duty Ghost yet either. But you could tell I just don't really care about Call of Duty that much anymore. Maybe I'll make another video talking about it. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But this one's about Smash Brothers, and we're gonna talk about Smash Brothers 4 because a lot of people have been doing my thoughts on Smash Bros. 4, and I think a lot of you would just like to know, and myself too, so I don't forget, about the characters, about the new characters showing up. So that's the big thing about Smash Bros. Some people like it's really about all the characters, and yeah, it's probably I can see why it's all about the characters. People judge each game by the characters. This one had all the awesome characters. This one didn't, or this one had clone characters, and so on. And of course the combat system, but I can't really talk about that because it's hard to talk about trailers. So basically, Smash Bros. 4 is more about. I'm just gonna talk about more about the characters. That's what everyone seems to be doing when it comes to thoughts, or who do I want in Smash Bros. 4, and um and what I think about the Smash Bros. Characters. Well, I was like slow for a second. That was weird. And let's start off with the characters I want in Smash Bros. Or in Smash Bros. 4. Now, as a kid, I always like to see characters from every single universe, but obviously that's not possible. So in a realistic setting, I think I've seen like I'm pretty satisfied with all the characters in the games. And I think the biggest character I want returning ever since Melee, like, cause is Mewtwo. Mewtwo was in Melee, and I was expecting him to be in Brawl. And I understand he got replaced with Lucario. Okay, I know because the movie came out. Diamond and Pearl was popular. I don't think the movie came out, but Diamond and Pearl was out, and it was like a gimmick type of thing. It was. It felt like it was like a promotion, but at the same time, he was. It's like the same thing with the first Smash Brothers. No, not first Smash. The second one. The second one was in 2000, and I think that's when Pokemon was at its peak popularity in America. But you know what I'm saying? When there's like a new game, they'll have a character relating to that game in the new Smash Bros. Sort of like advertisement, and they kind of are doing this with the new Smash Brothers. They did that with Rosalina as well, but not necessarily. But what's really weird this time is that they brought Lucario back to Smash Brothers. Now I know he has Mega Evolution, but I was expecting Mewtwo to return this time. I don't know, they haven't announced it yet, and I know he's a really largely request character, so they're probably not even gonna announce him. He's gonna be like a secret unlockable character, and his Final Smash is gonna be the Mega Evolution, like maybe one or two, maybe it's a 50-50 chance. That's the thing too. There's two different ones. I don't know about Lucario. I guess it made more sense. I think he has one Mega Evolution. That's another thing. Like, I don't have a 3DS, so I never really played Pokemon X and Y. And since I don't have a game, I don't really look up videos about it. I only looked up the trailers because I was pretty excited about the idea, and I would just watch gameplay videos just to see how the game looks like. And I was actually pretty excited for it. So if I had a 3DS, that's actually one of the games I would get, either Pokemon X or Y, and I would get Smash Brothers on the 3DS because Smash Brothers on 3DS. That's also one of the big wishes I had since I was a little kid. When I was playing Smash Brothers, I always wanted some version of it on the Game Boy and more so on the DS, because I know on the DS it could look like the first Super Smash Bros. And I was actually expecting them to make a remake of the first Super Smash Bros. On the DS because it has the N64 graphics. And ever since I saw Super Mario 64 DS, I just knew they could. I just knew they were gonna make like every awesome Nintendo 64 game on the DS, and then they didn't. All right, I think they made a couple of them, but for the most part they didn't. And then the ones they didn't even look that great. And that's another thing with the DS. I think the Mario 64 DS probably has like the best Nintendo graphics of all of them. You know, I know there's some that are good, but I felt like Mario 64 on the DS showed exactly how powerful the system was, what it was capable of. It did the maps good. It had the touchscreen. It used the mic. It had the mini games. And no other DS game looked as good as that one. I could be wrong, because I didn't really play the really old, like the very last Nintendo DS games. But what's funny about Mario 64, that was like one of the very first games. I think it was like a launch title for the DS. I have no idea if it was, but it was one of the launch titles for the DS. And yeah, I know they couldn't do Ocarina of Time, because that's a really large game. But actually, I think it's quite possible, but it is a large game. And when they made it on the 3DS, I wasn't too excited about the graphics, but whatever. Okay, you see, I'm getting off topic now, and I've been going off topic, but I haven't made like one of these videos in a long time, so I just felt like I needed to get stuff out of the way. So, like I said, one of my biggest wishes for the Smash Brothers was a portable version. Now we have a 3DS version now. And that's good. If I don't have a 3DS though, but if I get one, which is more likely because I also don't have the Wii U, and this is actually one of the reasons I'm not excited to talk about Smash Bros. 4, because I can't be excited talking about a game if I'm not going to get it right away. I know I'll eventually play, at least I'll play it. That sounds more likely, but I don't think I'll get the Wii U anytime soon. And one of the things is it's pretty expensive. I think it's still more than $250, $300. Not sure. I know I could always get it used, but hey, am I gonna get everything or not? You know, so I think getting it used is not a good option right now. Also, there isn't many games for it. You could argue there's Wind Waker HD. With Wind Waker HD, I mean, I have it on GameCube. I know it's slightly different, but you're not gonna convince me to get an awesome HD version of the same game. And I already made, when I made my Wind Waker videos, I already talked about how awesome the graphics look over the years. So that covers that. What else? Oh, and then they also have like some Call of Duty games on the Wii U, and they're like the newer ones, so you can't really play the old Call of Duty games on the Wii U. I'm talking about like there's no Wii U version of the older Call of Duty, which I wish, but I know that's pretty much impossible. So they're not gonna do that. And like I said with Call of Duty, I'm just not that into it anymore, and I really don't like the new games. I mean, I think Black Ops 2 has the Wii remote function, so that seems pretty fun. And the game's at 60 frames per second compared to the Wii versions that are always at 30 frames, always locked at 30 frames. And they can only go down from there. And there's one big game on the Wii that I do genuinely see that looks good that has came out so far is Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario World or whatever. I forgot the name. I know it's something Land 3D. There's a 3DS version as well, but I'm talking about the Wii one that has the cat suit and everything. And I saw it as like a new Super Mario Brothers. Like there's just it was like a cat suit or whatever. It's not that good 3D stuff. But then I saw so many good reviews like 9.5 or almost 10. And the graphics look amazing. And when the 360 came out and PS3, I was expecting Mario to HD jump to because I know at that time everything was about making the game realistic as possible. They sort of did this even on the Wii with Super Mario Galaxy. You can still see a lot like details in his jeans in the overalls. You can see like the little lines and everything, and the little glossy glow that every next gen game has at the time. So they were almost there. Even on the Wii, they had some really good looking games. So imagine that on an HD looking system where they push the graphics further, and that's Legend of Zelda HD basically. Not Wind Waker, like the actual series HD. And yeah, that's pretty much why the Wii U could be awesome if they just get the games out. And everyone talked about that already, so not gonna jump into that one. And right now, the only games that I see pretty excited for are what is it? Oh yeah, Mario Kart 8, right? Or Mario Kart Wii U. That one looks good, and it looks really good because you know the little gimmicks they add. I know it's like similar to 3DS, and I never really played a 3DS that much, but I like the flying, the underwater segments, and the graphics just look amazing. It's like whoa. Though, because the Wii one is like, the graphics, they had that glossy look to it, like next-gen feel, but it's like, you're not fooling me. But the actual, you know, they have shadows and lights and everything. I know it's not about the graphics, because the level design actually look cool, too, and they do all little sorts of things. They have the gravity thing, that's one of the main things they have in Mario Kart 8. So that looks pretty good. I don't think it will be that good, because just Mario Kart. Mario Kart hasn't been good for a long time. And on the 3DS, you can't have versus mode. And versus mode is the mode I played the most. Because after you beat the Grand Prix, whatever, after you beat all of them, you just want to play one level with all the characters. Like a little practice mode. Not the time trial, but the ones where you race with actual computer players. And those I always play because it's like, and sometimes I think the older games you could race any track you want. So you could race Rainbow Road, then Bowser Castle, then the first stage, then the one whatever in the middle, and you can make your own and get your own trophy and everything. And they didn't have that in the 3DS, and I think they didn't have. I know they didn't have it in the Mario Kart 64, which is like, whoa. So you saying this is the best Mario Kart game? You can't even do this? I don't know. I might be wrong. Like I guess you unlock it or something later, because I'm like one of those people that didn't even grow up with Mario Kart 64 and not 6, Mario Kart 64. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers on Wii U are like the only Wii U games that I'm looking forward to if I ever get the Wii U. Other than that, it's like there's nothing really else to it. I know there's a few other games announced, but we don't have that much information on it. So let's just go back to the Smash Brothers characters. Like I said, one of the things I said I was disappointed with Lucario, and it's like, why did you bring him back? There's no big reason to bring him back. The only pressing argument you have is the Mega Evolution, but so does Mewtwo, and Mewtwo had his own movie. If anything, you could have had Genesect in there, but that would just be too weird. And I know Lucario is more like a fighter, and Mewtwo isn't, but that's kind of the whole point of Smash Brothers too. You're not getting everyone who's a fighter. I mean, you have frickin' Ness. He's not even a fighter at all. It's a little kid with a bat. Okay, maybe he's a fighter. But then you got Kirby. All right, you got even if you got Kirby, you can say, oh, he can do some fighting things. And then you got Jigglypuff. All right, you got Jigglypuff. You got like random characters that are not even meant to be fighting. Like, yeah, anything could fight if they have like arms, but even then they don't need arms. But with Mewtwo, it's just basically Mewtwo's just awesome. And if anyone played them on Melee or just grew up during that time, you understand Mewtwo was the best Pokemon ever. He was the strongest one. And now they ruined Pokemon forever because Mewtwo is like, he's not the top dog anymore. I'm just kidding, Pokemon's still awesome, but you know what I mean. It's just Mewtwo was just awesome. So, one character I'm glad they brought back, and some of you are like, oh, I don't care about this guy, he's fat. Well, I mean, they brought back King Dedede, and I'm like, yes. not really. Yes, I wasn't excited for him to return, but I went on the website and then I saw he was there. He was a new character, and he is awesome. What I noticed about the Smash Brothers, the new one, is that they're doing the opposite what they did in Brawl. It looks similar to Brawl, but what I noticed what they did was the graphics is that they made it more cartoonish, like a 3D-ish cartoon, like Team Fortress 2 in a way. That's the best example where I could say it has that good graphics, like next gen graphics, but then again, it's still cartoonish, and that's what Smash Bros. 4 looks like to me. By the way, the new Smash Bros. Has like the worst title, just because because the actual title is called Smash Bros. For Wii U or Smash Bros. For 3DS, and people are just gonna call it 4, or the Wii U version, basically. And it's like, is it like your last game, or is it just you're not even trying? I have no idea. Maybe they had like all these names, and they just stopped. You could have called this Smash Brothers U, but now I'm just going over my head. But yeah, with Brawl, the graphics were like realistic. Like they were pretty detailed on every character, even for the Wii. And then they didn't do that on the Wii U. Now it could be for the frame rate, maybe, or they could also take it in a way that the game is not supposed to be serious, because Smash Brothers was basically meant to be more of a party game in a form of a fighting game. But I think the bugs in the early games made the fighting game more competitive than it really should be. I mean, those are just my theories, because, this is just one of my favorite games. So, I tend to just, like, know stuff from this series, because it's just one of my favorites. And it doesn't feel right just to talk about the new Smash Brothers if it's one of my favorite series of all time, basically. And I think, I already talked about a little bit of Rosalina. I'm not too excited for her. She kind of looks like Peach, obviously. And I thought she was going to pass off as a clone character, but they gave her a little star thing called Luma, I think so. And they do that's like a little ice climber thing, like it's like the second character that helps you out. You do like an attack, and then the star thing does an attack too. And they have some cool looking moves. But basically, it's like Peach with a different move set. That's how it feels like to me. Not too excited for her. She's been showing up in every game as well. We don't. And then, I mean, I'm expecting characters like a new Samus character, a new, not necessarily Kirby, but something, from those franchises that barely get anything. I think, well, when it comes to Smash Bros., the characters I want to see the most are from Pokemon. Because you have so much potential in those games. A lot of fighting Pokemons in them that could be in the game. And they're going to there seems to be like a fighting Pokemon game coming out on the Wii U. And if it's like a fighting game, I'll take a look at it, because that looks very interesting indeed. Alright, then the next character they added was Diddy Kong. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of him in Brawl. I know a lot of people liked him, but I guess it's normal for him to come back. I think they added Jigglypuff too. That I'm not sure. Because I haven't checked the list in a while. I think they added Jigglypuff. I'm not sure about that. It seems normal if they add Jigglypuff. Right now they're just adding more of the regular characters that were from Brawl and the other games like Pit and and Sonic. Sonic came back. So now you have Mario, Sonic, and Mega Man, or the SMS, SMS, right? No, well, you know what I mean. Mario, Sonic, Mega Man. So now you could have like three people, like three rivals in real life, choose their favorite character and fight off. See, that's what it. I think if they had like another one, some very popular 8-bit character, then they got it. They got it down. Also, they added Little Mac from Punch Out. This one was kind of like surprising to me, because he was an assist trophy, and I thought once an assist trophy, always an assist trophy. But I guess I could understand, maybe he was rushed or something, and maybe they couldn't come up with the ideas. So he is a playable character, and I could also say he is because of the recent Punch Out game on Wii. So maybe that's why he became a character as well. Oh, and then the Wii Fit Trainer. I think this is the one that people hate the most so far because it's just so random and it's just a Wii Fit Trainer. I think it's okay. I feel like she might be one of a cheap character, but I mean, Smash Brothers is about having unexpected characters, random characters like Mr. Game and Watch. People didn't like was like, whoa, who's this guy? Where did he come from? This guy's just a stick figure. Although I guess Mr. Game and Watch is a lot cooler, so I can understand why. But I think that's the point of Smash Bros. Just having random characters, and that's why they added the Wii Fit Trainer. I mean, it's like Game & Watch and Rob the Robot. If you make them good, if you make them work, then you could use those characters. Alright. And I think that's about all the characters I want talked about. Oh yeah, then there's Mega Man. I feel like I don't have to talk about Mega Man, because he is Mega Man, the original Mega Man, and he is awesome. Pew, 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 pew. No, Mega Man is like... I was like a little fan, like slight fan. I wasn't like a huge fan during like Mega Man like in the early 2000s. And I think I knew him as the Mega Man Battle Network thing when he had that anime form. But when I started playing the older games recently, like Mega Man 2, I just fell in love with it, and the music is awesome. Kind of weird how I never made a video about it, but to be honest, I kind of suck at it, so I guess I just don't want to show myself sucking at the game. Alright, so that pretty much talks about everything I wanted to cover.